The typical duct bank installation. The contractor needs to dig the trench. Usually this trench needs to be wider because the contractor needs to set up forms. After digging the trench, the form setup is required, and when it's finished, the contractor can start placing the reinforcement for the concrete, the rebar. Needs to be set up in a way that the reinforcing rods and ties don't form any conductive or magnetic loops around the ducts or duct groups. This reinforcement needs to be installed along with the conduit. After this is completed, the setup needs to be approved by inspectors. Sometimes the weather gets in the way. It could be rain or snow. In those cases, the contractor needs to wait for the rain or snow to stop, and then clean up, de-water, and muck out the trench to get ready to pour the concrete. After all that's completed, it's time to cast the concrete in place. When casting the concrete, sometimes vibration is required. This vibration could move the conduits or even the rebar. An inspector needs to be present for this too. Time is needed for the concrete to cure, and after that, the forms can be removed. After the forms are removed, the contractor backfills the trench. What's the difference with a precast duct bank? The contractor needs to dig the trench, which will be a smaller excavation because there's no need to set up any forms or anything around the precast duct banks. These are ready to be installed. Obviously, the trench is properly staged and the product ready for installation. A backhoe or a crane as a piece of equipment to install the duct banks is needed. This equipment with an operator and a small crew of 3 people is required. It takes around 10 to 15 minutes to set up one piece. Between 500 to 600 linear feet of precast duct banks can be installed per shift. The downside of casting in place the duct banks: poor quality, concrete strength, very slow process, large crew, weather dependent. Wait for inspector to proceed with pouring the concrete. Ducts can be damaged during construction. Wider trenches, more excavation to set up forms. Mistakes installing the conduits. What are the benefits of having a duct bank as precast option? Fast installation, requires less crews. Safety's improved. The concrete strength is guaranteed. Reduce a lot of time on the job site. Less material moved by the excavator. Dig and backfill. More lineal feet of duct banks installed per shift. Save time and money with our precast duct banks. Contact us if you want to hear more about our precast duct banks options.